All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to Promotech. Thanks for tuning in. One UI 9 just leaked, and while most people see a simple feature update, what's actually happening here is Samsung quietly redesigning how Galaxy phones interact, feel, and even predict your behavior. These early changes might look small right now, but they're setting up a much bigger shift that's going to hit hard once Android 17 fully rolls out. Let's dive right into the video, because this first look at One UI 9 isn't just about what's visible. It's about what Samsung is preparing behind the curtain. The biggest headline here is Tap to Share inside Quick Share. And yeah, on the surface, it looks like Apple's AirDrop evolution. But side by side, there's a key difference. Apple built AirDrop and name drop to strengthen its own ecosystem. Samsung, working with Android 17, is clearly pushing toward cross-device compatibility. That means this isn't just about sharing faster. It's about removing friction between completely different Android brands. And if this works the way it's shaping up, Galaxy users suddenly gain an advantage they've never really had before: effortless sharing beyond Samsung's own ecosystem. Now here's the subtle part most people missed. The setup process itself. Unlock both devices, tap the top edges, and hold. Sounds simple, but it tells you Samsung is leaning heavily into NFC-based automation again. Compared to older Quick Share where you had to manually select devices, this removes decision-making entirely. It's faster, yes, but also less controlled. And that's a pattern we're starting to see everywhere in One UI 9. That pattern continues with the redesigned, now brief interface. At first glance, it's just brighter gradients, more dynamic colors, shifting from blue to orange, depending on the time of day. But compare that to previous One UI versions where widgets were mostly static and predictable. This new system feels alive. It reacts, adapts, and subtly changes without user input. And that's the key shift. Samsung is moving from customization to intelligent presentation. Think about it. Before, you controlled how your phone looked. Now, your phone decides how it should look based on context, time, usage, maybe even habits down the line. That's not just a design upgrade. That's a philosophy change. And here's where things get more interesting. These visual and sharing changes are happening at the same time Android 17 is introducing smarter privacy controls and background behavior. So when you connect the dots, One UI 9 isn't just adding features. It's building a system that automates decisions for you. Sharing becomes instant, UI becomes adaptive, permissions become temporary. Everything moves toward less effort from the user. Quick pause. This is exactly where a lot of people start losing visibility into what their phone is actually doing. As these systems get smarter, they also get more hidden. That's why apps like Wolver are becoming useful. They let you actually track background behavior and system decisions that One UI doesn't show you anymore. Not essential, but if you like understanding your device, it makes a difference. Now stepping back, Samsung's direction becomes clear. Compare One UI 9 to even One UI 8.5. It's less about giving you tools and more about removing the need to use them. That's great for most users. Your phone feels faster, smarter, more personal. But for power users, the ones who love tweaking everything, you're slowly losing that layer of control. And that's not accidental. By the way, real quick, over 70% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. If you're into catching these deeper shifts before they become obvious to everyone else, this is exactly the kind of community you want to be part of. So here's the bigger picture. Tap to share, dynamic UI, smarter automation. These aren't isolated features. They're early signs that Samsung is turning Galaxy devices into something more predictive than reactive. And the real question is, if your phone keeps making more decisions for you with every update, at what point does convenience start replacing control? And are users actually going to notice when that line gets crossed? Take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.